Hello, hello. How everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily coming at you every Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m., where we talk car shit for a little bit. It's 2 days after talking shit. And luckily, I really want to thank Ford today because they give you something to talk about all the time. Initially, I'm going to talk about many things. But I'm going to talk about the fact that they rebranded their Ford Performance brand to Ford Racing. It used to be Ford Racing, then it became Ford Performance. Now it's back to Ford Racing, and a lot of people are excited for it, and I don't understand why. I will talk about that at length as to why I think it's just them changing their name to put their name out there in a positive manner. And why is that? Because all 100,000 Mustangs that have ever been made since 2024 have been recalled. That's right. The newest recall, every single 24 to 25 Mustang is asked to be recalled for a headlight failure or a headlight issue and taillight issue, if I'm not mistaken. I'll read the recall. And they said, by the way, don't bring it in this year. Fuck all that. We probably don't even have the parts in stock to take care of that recall. So I'm sure they're going to start sending out letters later in the year so that you can show up and fix your piece of shit Mustang. We'll talk about that specifically and mainly today on YDBT Daily, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It sucks, man. It sucks. Ford sucks. The Mustang sucks. But you know what doesn't suck? PMAS. Take James to PMAS. The best cold air sensors on the planet. The best MAF sensors on the planet. You can make your own MAF kit if you go to pmasmaf.com and you can buy their DIY MAF cold air kit. High resolution HPX sensors. Race shit. Badass shit. The best shit. They even have an all-in-one Fox body cold air MAF sensor situation. Check them out. PMAS. Nick James at PMAS. Oh my God, cookies. That's right. You're going to get your sugar fix over at domaguycookies.com. A beautiful woman makes the cookies, and an even more beautiful man manages everything. Get her to fart on them or stomp on them for extra money. domaguycookies.com. DNAppFormers.com. Get your online, it's online parts house, sponsor of the show. You're going to buy all your parts at DNAppFormers.com. Injectors, fuel systems, you get anything, exhaust, wheels, tires, everything, PMAS, all the stuff you want to buy that is brand new. DNAppFormers.com, hashtag YDBT at checkout, get a bit of a discount. Partsfrom.com, again, also hashtag YDBT at checkout for a bit of a discount. If not, you can text Rob himself in case it didn't apply. Use Mustang, Camaro, F-150, you name it, anything and everything that is used. Think of it as a junkyard that delivers shit to you. Engines, cranker pallets, you name it. All your used Mustang, Camaro, or F-150 goodies, get them at partsfrom.com. Two Auto Solution, Rami's out on Auto Solution. The island is losing population, but the people that remain are rich as fuck, and they're willing to get their cars built at 2 Auto Solution and Bellac Industries, that's right. He finally went over 90-something miles an hour on his boat. It's not the boat that a couple of you guys sent me. It's like a little, but, you know, I say little, but it's like $200,000. It's kind of funny how boats and all that other shit is a little silly. richprince.com/YDBT. If you want to support the channel and buy merch, you get your hats, YDBT hats, Amory hats, YDBT and Amory trucker style hats, Dolo and YDBT hats, Shiesties for the up and coming winter, and yes, hoodies and shirts, Section 8 hoodies and shirts, Hush Money hoodies and shirts, ZR50 hoodies and shirts, Booty Juice hoodies and shirts, and Lotte Juice hoodies and shirts, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350, 85 to 86, and 87 to 93. Save the man of shirts, the 2 Indidios, F1320, vertical, horizontal, hoodies. I'm telling you, we have it all here. So we're going to go ahead and say hi to the people here, and then we'll talk about why it doesn't matter that Ford changed its name if they're up to the same bullshit shenanigans. Rad Dad is Dad, Monty 540, Rad Dad is Dad again, 5 Home, Mustang Dennis, Wesley Stewart, Toilet Dumper, Tony the Truck Guy, Rad Dad, Clint Stroke, Nick, Hoodie, B. Lavesh. How come the names are not at anymore? Did you notice that? The names are not at anymore. It's so weird. YouTube is weird. Rad Dad is Dad, Frank Donahue, EPA, Andy Ali, Mark Christensen, John Bonanno, El Verga Larga, Mark Christensen, Dirt Store, Clean 93GT, 2JZ Fox Body, Dirt Store again, Richard Whedon, Cobra 460, Robo Style, 5 Stanley, El Verga, again, Rizzy, that's right, Mr. F. Cam Rizzy, Victor Sardone, Dustin Garrison, Nardi Mercado, the menace, he's a fucking troll. Mercury Motorsports, Big Pops, Taste Speaks, Alex Puente, Richie Rich, Bondo Bird, missing third as we, shows up and misses third. I don't know when he's going to get that car running again. Valley 10 Speed, Donkey Mac. Valley 10 Speed, you going to move to Arizona soon? Let's see if you can end up in Arizona. I think that's a good spot for you. You got to get out of Cali. Cali's fucking weird. Stuart D, Nat Jew, Bonnebird, Tony Nelson, Nick Perry, Jeff S, Slick Vic, Peter Chow, Dakota Kid, Tyler, Rigo SVT, Joshua Judd. If it's a 10 or 80, you are a 9 driving motherfucker. Jay Walker, Lost Builds Mechanic, Vegas 50. That is Daniel Stefanski. He has a Beamer and a fast Gen 2 twin turbo Mustang. Rooster, Alfredo Diaz, Arturo Mosias, Jared Wells, new father, and all the usual suspects. Eric R says, watching from my first duty station in the Amory in DC, just got here last month, thought I was missing out on Mustang Week, and then I grew up. Congratulations on being in the safest city in the United States currently. So, Ford Racing changed its logo. Let's go to Instagram. So, Ford Performance. Let's go to Ford Performance. Ford Performance. I think they changed it to Ford Racing. That's right. The Ford Performance Instagram now changed over to Ford Racing. Now, this is like their third iteration. But if you go to Facebook, one of the ugliest pieces of shit logos I've ever seen in my life was used. That was the original logo that was put out there by people that had official Ford Racing accounts. And then, of course, people were like, it is ugly. So they have changed their whole dynamic. Now, this is what I posted on Facebook. Because I don't post on Facebook much. But when I do, it gets a bit of attraction. People share it, whatever. I said, yay, Ford Racing is back. Any change in leadership? Any change in management? Any change in build quality? Any changing anything that causes massive recalls to their lineup? Have you hired a person to lead the racing department that has racing vision like a Coletti? Or is this just a rebrand of the same old stuff? Because if that's the case, the logo makes sense as it looks like it was made with Windows 1.0. And of course, it does look like it was made with Windows 1.0. So I asked Grok, what's going on here? So I asked Grok, has Ford had the most recalls recently out of any American car manufacturer? According to the summary, Tesla has the most, but those are software. Ford is 67 recalls. Ford has had 67 recalls. Stellantis has had 72. But GM, Tesla, Ford has had the most out of the American. Stellantis, I don't even count. Y'all, who the fuck thinks about Stellantis about anything? So then I thought to myself, let me go ahead and type in Ford Mustang recall. Ford Mustang recall. 2024. Because it has to be very specific. Oh, man. 2020, 2024. Ford Mustang recall. Recall. Yeah, that's what happens when you're not ready. Yes, several recalls have been issued for the 24 Mustang. A rear suspension knuckle defect causing potential handling and steering a defect in the instrument cluster panel that may prevent warning lights or speed from displaying, and a potential fire risk in manual transmission models where the clutch pressure line may contact electrical parts. So this thing, they issued a 100,000 car recall today. Today, they actually issued a 100,000 car recall. So then I started thinking, why would they rebrand Ford Performance as Ford Racing? And a lot of people were like, yeah, they're back. No, think about it. The reason, if you do a quick search, the reason they went initially from Ford Racing to Ford Performance was to meld or blend both racing and on-road car going stuff so that the racing program can complement the on-road going stuff. Obviously, that failed. That failed miserably because nothing but recalls. All of the stuff that has come out since they've done Ford Performance stuff has been, let's just say, less than impressive, okay? So now they're like, well, forget the road going stuff. Let's make our race program robust, meaning non-road going. So that means that they're just gonna, I want to say, ignore the road going side of things by just saying Ford Racing. because they want to concentrate, they want to consolidate. That's what they did with Ford Performance. What they did with Ford Racing to Ford Performance is not what they're claiming to do from Ford Performance to Ford Racing. This is just a logo change. Did they hire a engineer? Did they hire a figure that is inspiring to potentially make their cars better? Did they replace the person in charge that has been in charge over the last 5 or 6 years and has had the worst recalls, the worst vehicles, the worst stint in, I don't want to say Ford history, but in recent Ford history? Jim Farley is not a Ford guy. He was a Porsche guy. He's a guy with a computer science degree. He is not an engineer. He is a fan. What happened to the days of Coletti? To this day, you can almost say that the cars that came out under the SVT banner are still influencing cars that are built today. To this day, people still reference the Lightning to the point where they made it a freaking electric truck. To this day, people reference the Ford GT, the 5.4 liter Ford GT. That car is slowly creeping up to being $1 million ridiculous badass status. The Cobra, the Terminator, the GT500, all these vehicles that were built under the SVT banner are still thought of as being extremely relevant in 2025. But who did you hire or what did you change except the logo? Absolutely nothing. If the same people are in charge, the same people in the same departments, the same people that were thought leaders, and let's just say the idea people behind the products that you're pushing out, you're not changing anything. What do you guys think Ford Performance was? What do you guys think Ford Racing was? Again, a quick Google search or on YouTube, you can see how they introduced the 2015 Mustang back when it was Ford Racing. They introduced the Ford Mustang, the 2015 S550 Ford Mustang, as 11, 12, 11, and 10. 12-second EcoBoost, 11-second NA GT, and a 10-second supercharged GT with the Ford Racing supercharger, aka the Roush supercharger. And they introduced the platform by racing it in terms of relevance to the buying public. But now, for whatever reason, since Jim Farley has been in charge, is road racing. And I know you Schleckenbergs are mad when I say that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're selling performance vehicles in the United States, drag, roll, and other straight line events are what matters and are what sells. So you need somebody in charge that is relevant. Tell me how many, tell me the Nürburgring time of the Terminator. Tell me the Nürburgring time of a GT500. Tell me the Nürburgring time of a Lightning. Tell me the Nürburgring time of any vehicle under the SVT banner. Don't know? Because it doesn't fucking matter. But for whatever reason, people are under the impression, Schleckenbergs and others, that think it's the benchmark. Like the ZR1, the fact that it beat a dedicated road car in its own game, the GTD, was more of a happy mistake. The ZR1 is a straight line motherfucker. It is a 60 to 130 killer. It is a quarter mile when in good weather, when it's cold. Fast car, nines. They have been mid nines on the street, rear wheel drive, because there is no ZR1X yet. So you're telling me that the buzz around the best vehicles ever announced had really nothing to do with Nürburgring, and they weren't designed to do anything with Nürburgring. The American car fan likes straight line, burnout, dumb shit. 60 to 130, roll stuff, half mile stuff, drag stuff. That's what they like. So if Ford Racing wants to cater to the American audience, then you have to put someone in there that is inspiring in that capacity. An engineer type. Coletti was an engineer, then he's got his MBA later on, but he got his bachelor in engineering, then he ended up getting his MBA later on. But he, to this day, has the most everlasting legacy in terms of performance vehicles pumped out by Ford in the last 50 years, right? It's 2025. 50 years ago was, 19, so carry the 2, 19, 75, right? Since 75, tell me what vehicles really got your dick hard, except the Fox body, all the way to now. And you could say that little chunk of time where SVT was killing it, because let's be honest, the Fox body wasn't great from the factory. The Fox body, when you gave it in the hands of a hot rodder, it was good. But the Terminator, Lightning, and all those other stuff were pretty good for their time when they came out. So I'm kind of blown away that people are looking at this thing as a positive, and it's just fans. It's just Ford fans like, yeah, we're back. Show me a product that you're changing. Show me a product that you're showcasing. Show me an inspirational figure. Show me a change in leadership. Show me a parts lineup. Show me anything except a logo made in Windows 1.0 that tells me you're going to change things. What have you done? Absolutely nothing. So now, the recall kind of highlights what I've been saying the whole time. This Mustang, in my opinion, is going to have so many issues because of the distractions that the Mustang has in it. Lund Racing bought a 2025 Mustang, premium, king of the top of the heap, the best shit. And you look at it and you're like, it's busy. It's got too much bullshit. And if you know anything about how Ford builds products, they're not exactly the best parts. They're not exactly top shelf liquor. The electronics are probably not exactly the best stuff on the planet. So you're going to get a bunch of recalls for little shit like a backup camera, like the proximity sensor, like the blind spot sensor. You're going to get all those dumb little recalls because you've added so many distractions to this vehicle as opposed to making a raw vehicle. Now, I don't mean you should go back to making carbureted, FE equipped motor, top loader, 9-inch. Boy, doesn't that sound great though? Like for those of you that are like my age, didn't I just check off a list? That sounds pretty badass. Big cubic inch, simple to work on, mechanical in nature. Like, I don't know, that sounds pretty good to me, but the buying public is not going to pay for a pared down Mustang. A drag pack Mustang is not going to be something that the buying public wants, because now you have fed them all these distractions, these infotainment, this massaging seat, the heated and ventilated, all this stuff that now they come to expect that for a $55,000 price tag. So you're not going to have an offering of $35,000 for a pared down race only Mustang. And tell me exactly, Ford, how much of a change in the assembly line would it take to offer people a absolutely pared down? Can you order a absolutely pared down Mustang? Meaning nothing, power windows and locks, but everything else is dumb shit gauges. Can you do that? Probably not, but you used to be able to do it back in the day, but those days are long gone. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the recalls. 100,000 recalls for, which is like every Mustang ever made, right? Like, isn't it every single Mustang ever made? Like, how many Mustangs sold last year versus this year? 50,000? 60,000? I'm like, so every single Mustang ever made is getting recalled? Unbelievable. Not defending anything here, but the Z01 technically have an advantage by not being a class spec car. The GTD is a class spec car? What class? That car is a homologation special. Oh, the GT3 class. Okay, but it is a production vehicle. Well, they made just enough to homologate the vehicle being classified in blah, blah, blah. So basically, it is not a vehicle that you offer at an assembly plant that gets ka-chunk together by a American employee with a exoskeleton. It's a car that you made special so that you can then make enough of them so that you can qualify for some weird league that nobody watches. I'd love to know the ratings on those races. The old 510 big block Ford made from a 460, old heads know. The Mustang needs an enthusiast trim. Strip it, pare down the electronics, remove sound deadening, lighter weight windows. See, Jay Walker used to own a Mustang. He owned a Pro-Charged Gen 2. Went nines, stick, sold it, got into German and other stuff. Smart man, got the hell out of this game. And if I right now, Alejandro Flores, can buy a 3,500 pound, the problem is the fucking transmission. The D4 MT82, the gear ratio is such ass. The 3160 sucks. Alex, but it's Tremec. Shut up. Grow up. It's time to grow up. The 3160 is a piece of shit, but it's the best one that in terms of gear ratio. But if they had a D4 with the gear ratio of 11:17, oh, stop it. That would be killer. That's why I think the 11:17 Mustang manual was goated. The freaking gear ratio. Please do yourselves a favor. Drive an 11-14 MT82 Brembo package car. Drive a 15-17 performance package manual Brembo performance package car. The gear ratio made that car badass. Then go ahead in the same day, drive an 18-23 manual D4 equipped Mustang. You will go, what the hell happened here? GTD Diddy spec. We went from the old Ford racing days to revving on the key fob and a drift stick. And a lot of the people that watch me just by clips, they don't actually listen to the whole context of a conversation. They're going to criticize me because they're going to go, Alex, you know what the fuck you're talking about? I'm like, I come from a historical context. A lot of you guys that are into S550s and S197s don't remember the teeth we had to cut with the Fox body. You don't remember 210 flywheel horsepower. You don't remember those days. But goddamn it, I think back to those days and I had more fun in those cars than I had in the newer cars. The newer cars, you feel disconnected from the vehicle, especially the newer stuff. The last car that I owned that made me feel, man, this thing is pretty badass was my 19 GT when it was naturally aspirated on an E85 tune, bone stock, everything else. It was like that for a whole year. Naturally aspirated, E85 tune, stock cold air, stock everything, made damn near 440, maybe 450 rear wheel horsepower. Those cars were severely underrated from the factory. Those cars were pumping out big power to the rear wheels. That's why I think to this day, the best Gen 3 Mustang, 19-20. I know you guys with 21 to 23s think it's badass, but then you got to start thinking about how they configured that car. The accessibility of the calibration wasn't as good. I think 19-20 was the best. 11-14, badass, nothing to complain about. 13-14 was obviously better and great looking, but 11-12 had that old school look to them. They had little cues that were a little better. What is Ford Racing giving you for the new logo? What are they trying to preemptively get you excited about? Explain to me, like I'm a retard, why you changed the logo and what should I expect as an end user from the logo change except a logo change. Goofy, weird behavior, and the fans are the ones that really piss me off. The fans that plaster it on their profile. The fans that go, they're back! With what? With what? What are you excited about? Now, I don't know what Ford needs to do to see, would you be excited? Excited. Knowing what you know about the Coyote, knowing what you know about the Godzilla. By the way, nothing makes me happier than being exactly right about the Godzilla. The Godzilla has been out for how many years? And has it become a crazy popular? Is the aftermarket jumping all over it? Nope. A dud ass 6.8 and 7.3 that nobody cared about. You have influencers talking about Megazilla, influencers talking about, super duper Megazilla. It doesn't matter. A bigger, taller, heavier, less powerful motor is never going to be desirable. Now, can you make something fast? You can make, there have been 6-second Hondas. What the fuck's your point? So you're telling me a 7.3 liter is a viable option in a heavier, taller, harder to package version in a Fox body because you need special oil pans, special all this shit. When I took a stock long block and just threw it in a Fox body the other day. A Coyote. So nothing makes me happier. So would you be excited if Ford came out with a Boss 429? What transmission are they going to put behind it? It's going to be a 10-speed something. So let's say Ford has a weird, goofy asshole somewhere, or maybe he has videotape of a Ford executive banging like his employee's wife or something, and he's like, you better put out a 429 or I'm going to show this video to everybody. Oh, fuck. Green light that deal. So then a 500 horsepower flywheel, heavier motor, nose heavy, with a 10-speed comes out. Are you excited for that? When you could just put a blower on a Coyote and make 800, 900, damn near 1,000 horsepower? Off topic deal. But do you have a recommendation to shop to work on my Mustang in Phoenix, Arizona? Yes. Valley 10-speed. No, honestly, Emmanuel Martinez, no. The shops that I know are where racing is popular. And people are like, I'm going to slow down. Slow down. Where the... No, I don't know any shops over there. I remember E7 heads. But Alex, Ford has a really fast minivan. That's the other thing. When Ford got beat at their own game, when the GTD went around the Nürburgring and it beat a 7 minute whatever lap time, then they went back and they were like, oh my God. And then the Corvette beat it with two different vehicles that are made in an assembly line. They are made in a assembly line where all other Corvettes are made. I'm not a Corvette fanboy, but I'm not stupid. So they end up saying, oh yeah? Take my ass, Elon. Where is it? Take my ass, Elon Musk. Intaker, Price is Right. Take that? No.
Take that, Elon Musk.
Yeah, take that. Oh yeah? Game on. You can't wait until you watch this. And then they pop off that they took an electric, one-off, custom electric minivan and beat the ZR1 production car pump gas record. That? I thought you were going to put twin turbos in the Mustang and come back and get after it. I thought you were going to do cool shit. Put twin turbos in the GTD, put it on E85, because look, the GTD is not a production car, full stop. So, fuck it. E85, turbo, more power, keep the same handling, just more power in the straights, so you can not get gapped by the ZR1 in the straights. And then you can say, we beat the Corvette. Yes, and apples to apples, twin turbo to twin turbo. That would have been cool. But no, you opened your cocksucker, you put an electric van in the Nürburgring, and you're like, yeah, did you see that? Stupid. It jumped on it in the beginning, but after what, 1,400 horsepower lifts his head. Okay. They just want it to be like Cracker Barrel, an electric van that goes up a hill quick. The Ford is looking like Cracker Barrel effect. Local dealership has 25 GT Premium 10R for $62,000 out the door without a Whipple. Maybe the Ford Racing revamp has to do with the GT500 or whatever the fuck it's coming out. No, the GT500 rebrand is to focus on racing. Performance was supposed to blend racing and road-going cars. So now what does that mean to me? Someone that actually pays attention to language. When someone talks, I listen. And I go, I think I know what he means. Because a lot of people are not going to say this. Hey guys, how you doing? Ford Performance is now going to become Ford Racing. So we can forget trying to make on-road cars fast and concentrate on the racing program by itself. Thanks for your attention to this matter. No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, we're going to really concentrate on the racing side of things. And we think that the best way to do that is take the Ford Performance logo and really concentrate on what's important to the racing brand of the Ford Motor Company. So we went back to Ford Racing. So that means you're going to concentrate on the racing side, the non-on-road going side. Meaning you're going to prioritize a Bronco in some Baja race where you run over Mexicans. Could you imagine that's the priority for Ford? Well, we need to make these Broncos jump higher because these Mexicans are just the right height to get clipped by the tires. Weird stuff. What's interesting is the GTD is faster than the ZR1 through the twisties. The ZR1 makes up the time in the straights. Right. So this is what you do, Ford. Stick twin turbos in the GTD from Ford. It's a $300,000+ car. Why wouldn't you put twin turbos in it? It doesn't matter. Oh, wait, are you talking about emissions bullshit? Stop it. A dealer near me has a manual 25 Prima for $57,000. Fucking hilarious. Kyle is probably licking all the egg off of Revan Evans' face. What's happening here? Maybe Ford should hop on the ZF transmission game. I know it's way overhyped, but maybe the 8 HP? I don't know. Exactly, Theo. The 7.3 and 6.8 Godzilla is a piece of crap. If I wanted to push it on a Fox body, I'll take a small block Ford any day of the week because it's figured the fuck out. And it's still relevant. This was my argument with the Godzilla. You're offering me a bigger displacement engine that is pushrod, that is less configurable than a small block Ford. Right now, I can go and talk to any renowned Ford engine builder and say, I want a 500 crank or 600 crank, big inch, dart block, twisted wedge, twisted high port, whatever. I don't know the good head anymore. Hey, I don't know anything about good cylinder heads. But I want a long block that I can just put in my car with a Dizzy, some Ford Motorsport or some 2-inch headers, and have that bitch make 520 rear wheel horsepower. They can do it. So why the fuck would I buy a Godzilla motor that is taller, heavier, and barely fits in the most popular racing chassis, the Fox body? The Fox body. Everything should be thought of as, does it fit the Fox body? Everything. Did you know there are people that are sticking small block Fords? They're psycho, but they're sticking small block Fords in the new Fox body, aka the 11 to 14 S197. The 11 to 14 S197, mark my words, will be as popular to configure for drag racing as the Fox body ever was. It looks fantastic. The aftermarket supports it like a motherfucker. The suspension companies, there's like 70 suspension companies. There's 8,000 engine companies. There's a bazillion transmission. This thing is configurable everywhere. And it is cheap. I can actually attest to the fact that you can get a newer 11 or 14 Mustang rolling chassis with a cage in it for $5,000 less than you could a Fox body. I can get a rolling chassis 11 to 14 S197. Looks fantastic. It ain't going to cost me more than $20,000. Go ahead and get yourself a fully decked out, good paint job, non-rusted out piece of shit Fox body from 1992. Oh, forget it. 1992 and some CC dubs, $50,000 car. Stupid. Dodge changed back to direct connection a while ago too. While we're doing throwbacks, Snap-on needs to bring the bikini calendar back. John Lucas from Fat House Fab is not wrong. Fat House Performance, Fat House Fab, Fat House Knives, Fat House Printing. I don't know. You guys have like 70 companies. Drake says that makes too much sense. I know this is an old topic, but I've seen the Street Alpha podcast. Some guy said the Coyote was based on the GTR engine. Is that true, Alec? I only trust you. No, it's not based on the GTR engine. That's crazy talk. They've had lineage of dual overhead cam stuff for a bazillion years. Where all those 5.6 liter Werewolf builds? Thank you, Zane. Ford makes zero sense. They sell the GT40 with a one-off EcoBoost for $500,000. What an absolute fumbling of the bag. Do you know the Ford GT to this day? To this day, people drool over that thing. Drool. To this day. You see a Ford GT with the 5.4, whether it's a Whipple or the stock blower or twin turbos in the stock blower. Oh. And the thing shows up and it's chopping and you son of a bitch. Because it has a V8, because it's stick, because it's raw. It's basic. It's such a basic raw car. So then they're like, we're going to bring it back. And they put a 6-cylinder twin turbo motor in it that easily gets outclassed within 2 or 3 years by production going vehicles in terms of power. What did you get with the Ford GT that you couldn't get with, I don't know, I'm trying to think of vehicles like a Z06, a Z01 of its day. or even a new Z06. Like, let's say right now you want a badass road race car. Why wouldn't I get a Z06 besides the fact that it has no torque? Why wouldn't I get a Grand Sport, a Stingray, an E-Ray? An E-Ray will dog walk the shit out of a Ford GT. Dog walk the shit out of a Ford GT. So Ford could have said, you know what? These are going to be $500,000 cars anyway. Why don't we put a twin turbo Coyote in it? There has to be something out there. Why not? Price? The car's damn near $500,000. Price doesn't matter anymore. I was confused why Ford even made the Godzilla. When you move from an F-150 to a F-250, you buy a diesel. Jimmy Jam says a twin turbo 5.0 Ford GT would have decimated all. What would it take for that to happen? Okay. It takes a psychopath to buy a new Ford GT and put a FFRE Stage 3 motor in it just for longevity and put a twin turbo setup that has flex fuel capabilities, because look, you're making race car shit. Flex fuel capable twin turbo Coyote Ford GT. You don't think people are going to start looking at that car a little differently? And don't you dare, imagine you give that thing a manual option. Stop it. Ford is just lost on this. It's almost, you're so disconnected. You're so disconnected when you have a car that has a DCT, paddle shifters, and a V6 twin turbo that it does not have the name Porsche. Sorry. I'm not stupid. Ford GT is a tuned Fusion. I don't know about that. It's because of the way they marketed it. Hey, Alex, some people out here saying that the Evolution Performance 650 is fully built. It's a supercharger kit. Which one? There's like 5 of them. JT Zalazar, you need to understand a couple of things about dyno numbers. They're just dyno numbers. So for those of you that go, yeah, 1200, it's on a fucking hub dyno. And it's a Dynocom on top of that. It's just a tuning tool. That's all it is. Because this is what's going to happen. You are going to try to mimic that build, and then you're going to go on a dyno jet with a soft tire like a ET Street SS. Because you think this way. This is how the public thinks. Well, you need a soft tire on a dyno jet so that they can grip. And it's about less parasitic loss, let's just say. Meaning you need a hard tire. You want to transfer the most power possible onto that drum. And if you have a soft tire, that squishy effect kills power output. But it is a tuning tool. All you got to look at a Dynocom or a Dyno Jet or any hub dyno is a tuning tool. So if you're going to look at it, Evolution made 720, Evolution made 1100, Evolution made 1200 on a Dynocom hub dyno. Now take that car, drive it to Florida, put it on a dyno jet, probably make 1,050, probably make 1,100. A lawsuit when you sell it. 05 to 06 GT is a real dream car. Best car Ford has ever made. And Ford made that car. See, people don't understand how important it is that a Ford supercar is made by Ford. That's why Ford Racing, Ford Performance, all that bullshit goes away when a car comes out of Multimatic. No shade against Multimatic. Multimatic is not Ford. When a car comes out of the Ford assembly plant, where some guy with a exoskeleton, click. What'd you do? I put the tag of who built the motor. Why'd you need an exoskeleton for that? It's kind of cool. It kind of did it for me. I programmed it to do it for me. I was basically asleep. Matter of fact, I programmed the exoskeleton to jerk me off in the bathroom. So anyway, the importance of a car coming out of Ford that is crazy performance from Ford matters more than if it comes out of a third-party manufacturer, by far. What up, Alex says, broke ass white boy. Thanks for the awesome help and quick responses tuning my buddy's Whipple F-150. He's pumped to get it back on 85. Glad keeping traction control on. Didn't screw the log up. I've heard rumors that the Gen 2 Ford GT went 6.4 in the ring, but I've never seen anything released. I think the 1901 ZTK outdid the Ford GT on most tracks. The C8 made the Ford GT irrelevant. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm usually here. Fuck, I hate to say that. But when you look at both cars, they look similar, right? One of them is attainable and runs us damn close to what the GT can do. The only thing the GT has that looks, but $500,000 for just looks is goofy. Keiko FX Design says, is an aftermarket company that makes the Ford 351 made for Ford that... I stopped reading because you're obviously ridiculously uninformed. Dropping a like and catching a replay later. 05 to 04, the 06 GT is the first thing I would buy if I won the lottery. The one that I reviewed the other day, awesome car, beautiful car. And I'm just like, this car is so raw, manual, the way it starts, the flare, the shifting, the toggles, the switches. I'm like, this is perfect. I wouldn't do anything to this car. Ford GT got the EcoBoost 6-cylinder because they wanted to compete in Le Mans. Rules stated you can't have over 4 liters in the displacement when you run forced induction. Would be nice if Ford made ethanol content analyzer a native sensor. Why? That would be great, but they won't do it. Hey Alex, would you consider adding a GTR to your garage or Coyote's Forever King? So the problem with the GTR is who it attracts. Mustangs attract gay guys too. Gay guys that crash. Probably not. Not because the car isn't badass. It's just not my thing. I don't look at a Godzilla GTR, R35 I think, right? I don't know. And I'm like, I respect it. I respect the everything. But I don't look at it and go, whoa. Because I'm 47. Those cars came out at a time where I didn't care. They didn't elicit any kind of... Look, we all here lust after the cars in our teenage years, right? I'm talking about lust. You and I both know, everybody on the chat, think of the car that you most lust after. And it is the car that was unobtainium. It was the car that was unattainable. You were a child. You were most impressionable. The car hit a certain part of your psyche that has never been tickled again. Ever. So when I think of a, oh my God, holy grail car, right, I think of Celine Mustangs from the Fox Body days. I think of a S351 from 1999. And I was like just getting out of my teenage years. I don't lust after anything when I was well into my 20s. Why? Because I was out there working. I was out there busting my ass. I wasn't constantly watching what's out there. When you're a kid, you're a child, your imagination runs wild. So you're highly impressionable. That's why I don't want to date a woman with kids, because they're going to remember me. I know there's a couple of women right now that all remember just a hairy ass going up and down on the bed. They're like, what's that? I'm like, yeah, it was me, Papa. Sorry you had to walk in on mom getting smashed like that. But anyway, cars that you lust after are cars that you remember in your teenage years. Tell me what car you think John Lund thinks is the baddest motherfucker on the planet. You think it's a Grey Goose? You think it's a Cobra? You think it's a Lightning? No. It's a long body Mach 1 from the 70s. He likes a big block, long nose, ugly as shit, 70s Mach 1. Junior, Fox body. Junior likes a Fox body. Junior's is 15, 16, 17 when his dad had a 92 or 93 Calypso or Teal, who knows? Fox, that's what he remembers. Yeah, that's a bad motherfucker right there. We fuck with the new stuff because that's what's relevant to the business. I lust out of all the cars in the garage. The Fairmont tugs at my heartstrings. I look at the blue GT500. Man, that bitch is bad. That bitch is bad. Look at the Bellax, low, cage, face-plated, supercharged G85 fuel system, fully built. Everything you could do to a car. Cool car. I look at the Fairmont. I'm like, you son of a bitch, you're perfect. I can't wait to get a motor in you, get a new windshield, new windows all the way around, clean you up, not paint you, and just take you for a cruise with a carbureted Coyote, and then maybe put us in centrifugal YSIB, whatever the fuck, Vortec. Wee, 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 yeah! Chuck a rod. Fuck it. SCT, you blocked me, ho. Okay. 05 to 05 Ford GT is that dream poster car for me. But when you understand that it's not in your ballpark, you try to get what is relevant. Ford GT, 11 to 4 GT500 are my favorite. Twin Turbo Coyote Swap Mark 8. Why would we want a PCM that has native ethanol sensor? When you can adjust AFR. Yeah, Red Dad is dead. You might want to take that whole comment back. You might want to take that whole comment back. Sisio has a $90,000 package to make your GTR a 1,300 wheel horsepower car. Well, if I'm going to make an all-wheel drive twin turbo car, it's going to be an R8, not a GTR. Boss 351, 1972 Mach 1. First car I ever drove was a 71 Mach 1. 351 Cleveland C6 Auto. Took 2 Pinellas County phone books to see enough where I was going. Little kid sees Harry S. bouncing up and down on mom and says, "What's that, big brother?" Reply says, "Sasso, man." Sasso used to be YOLO. 293 Cobra is up there too. Last Mustang my dad had got me into Mustangs was a 85 4i FHP car. That car was so clean. I'm 23, and as a teen, the Terminator was the car. Fairmont is hush money. Story behind it. Absolutely. So a lot of people need to understand that the cars that you lust after aren't these new cars, but as a business and as a guy in the industry, you have to see where the trend is going. And what are we trending towards? We're trending towards factory cars. This is since 2020. Okay, what was the last year of GT500? 22? So 23, no GT500. 24, no GT500. 25, no GT500. 26, no Boss. 350, sorry Shelby. Ford didn't make that. It's a GT with a Whipple and badges. So Ford didn't make a 350. Ford didn't make a GT500. Ford didn't make a Boss. Ford didn't make a Mach anything. So what's the trend? It's not a positive one. If they're relying on an aftermarket company that says my Gen 6 version of my Gen 5 makes more power, but then you find out boost for boost it makes the same power. What are we doing here? Ford has not come out with anything that, like, you guys go, yeah, they came out with the FP700. That is a Ford truck with a Whipple supercharger. When Ford produces a vehicle that comes out of the assembly line, supercharged or turbocharged, then I'll pay attention. But if it shows up at a dealership, the dealership allocates a local shop to say, hey, here are 8 F-150s. Put a Whipple blower on it and these stickers. They do it for a low price. Then they get shipped back to the dealership and they call it the FP700. How do I know that? Because I know people with Ford representatives approaching them saying, by the way, would you be willing to build these vehicles? No Ford FP7 anything has come out of an assembly line ever. Prove me the fuck wrong. Every single Ford performance vehicle with a Whipple has been done after the fact, meaning it's aftermarket, meaning I don't give a fuck about that car. My dad had a 98 Mr. Chrome Cobra when I was super young. I'd love to have one of those. See? My dad had a 78 Cadillac Brougham and a 76 Malibu. You don't think one of these days when I make it? I'm not that far off. I can do it right now, but what's your thoughts on an on 3? I'm done. 6. What are you talking about? On 3 is shit. But I'll tune it. That's the best way I could put it. On 3 is shit. But I'll tune it. Because my employer tunes it and supports it. What do I think? What are my thoughts? On 3 is garbage. Have you ever been to Sloppy Mechanics Fairmount? Have you ever seen the Sloppy Mechanics Fairmount? Nope. Don't care. G-Bodies and Foxes. I've always liked 71 and 72 Torinos. Drop a like. Hope y'all good fellas. Countach Dream Car. Yeah, I used to watch the Cannonball run as a young man. Kid. Cannonball. Big tits out. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. She takes the 55 sign and puts an 8 on it. Goes to a construction site. Nice tits. Yeah, hose me down, daddy. They hose down the white car and it becomes red. You don't think I watched Cannonball Run and immediately fell in love with tits? John Lund says, well, hello. John Lund Sr. What is the car What is your dream car that you would love to have in your garage today? Go. My old fashioned is empty. What car would you love to have in your garage right now? Money, no object. And don't appease the fans. You, John, trust me, I'm sure it's not anything new. What car would you love to have in your garage right now that you can get in that bitch, get in it on the weekend, go grab some ice cream or go grab breakfast somewhere in Clearwater? If you didn't tune it on 3 Kits this morning, how would you feel? Thank God Ford made over 4,000 GTs, gives us fools a chance someday. My dad had a 73 dark green 455 Trans Am that got me into cars. My uncle had a single turbo 301 Trans Am. My dad had a 76 Malibu with a swivel buckets console in the day. My dad had every car. You name it, he had it. Risky Business says, tits these days. It's gay, but a Nismo 350Z, I don't mind a Nismo. I think a Coyote swap Nismo would be badass. Gumball Riley with the 427 Cobra, the Ferrari Daytona, epic. The Pantera gives me the same Countach vibes. Will never forget the first time I seen one. I thought it was a Lambo at first. Open and seen a Cannonball Run 1 and 2 are great. Yeah, just tits and Lambos. I was 13 when Gone in 60 Seconds came out. Wanted an Eleanor ever since. John Lund, I will refill Mother Hubbard's. Okay. His HCI WS6 with some fat meats out back was tough to beat, even for the Terminator. I agree. Yes, Cannonball Run, classic. SVT Malflower says, I vote a Model T. Gen 1 Coyote, build a rotating assembly and keep the block, or go for a Gen 3 short block for boost. Gen 3 short block. Rebuild. Just get it. Stop thinking, okay, the days of picking up a busted motor and going through the whole thing to rebuild it are over. The reason I got my Gen 2 is it had one bad piston. Did I completely disassemble it? Put new rods, bearings, new main, new rod bearings. Fuck that. I threw a piston in it after honing the cylinder. Fuck it. It lasts how long it lasts. Watch that bitch last a while. It's crazy. Right? The days of like, let me just get an old F-150 motor, take it all apart in my garage. Dude, just buy a Gen 3 short block. Holy shit. I kind of want a 22. I don't care. Here we go. I guess I got to read it. I kind of want a 22 BMW M760 twin turbo V12 all-wheel drive. Full-size car runs low 3, 0 to 60. Wish they never stopped making that engine. My dad had a Starship Enterprise. Man, that thing handled. Dude, my dad's 78 Fleetwood. I got my FE engine of the disease. He ain't talking about Coyotes or small block Fords. He's talking about an FE side oiler. If that even exists. My dad's 78 Fleetwood had a Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham 7-liter. My dad was broke. We were broke. And Dad loved that car. Because when he was out and about in that car, people were like, damn, look at that fucking caddy, son. It had like the plushest interior, the nicest wheels, hubcaps, road smooth, self-leveling suspension. When you hit the signal light on the fender, there was a little indicator light that lit up, and my father just loved that shit. He loved the fact that he could shut the trunk and the trunk would like slowly latch itself. Like Dad was like impressed by the little things of that car. You know what I mean? Like he loved the fact that it's like, this is classy, even though I'm broke as shit because I got to raise 3 fucking kids, and I get that. He was like, I love this thing. So when I took my driving test in it, I really appreciated the fact that I got my driver's license in a 78 4-door Cadillac. You don't think that affected me when I went to buy a vehicle? You don't think when I buy a nice vehicle to daily, I want something nice, and I ended up buying a Cadillac Escalade? Come on, stop it. John Lucas says, done aftermarket with add of fuses and eyelets hanging out the fuse box instantly makes it not production level vehicle. Done aftermarket with add of fuses and eyelets hanging out the fuse box instantly makes it not a production level vehicle. Does he have to take an aspirin? I'm not sure. I just got out, but about 3 weeks. Good seeing y'all. 78 Fleetwoods are badass, dog-ass motor, but fuck it. Ashtrays on all 4 doors. 321 or 322. Doesn't matter. Well, it depends on the generation vehicle, right? Rad Dad is Dad? What are we doing here? What control system are you using? That determines the 1 or the 2. Ford Edsel. 390 with the FE and the top loader, 4-speed. Tony, kicker, comp, I'm right here. Okay. Grandpa had a 69 Grand Prix on drag lights. I got a 351 and Capri on drag lights. There you go. So what I'm saying is this. All of us on this chat lust after a car that's not modern. None of us here said, oh man, I'd love to have a 24 GT. Said nobody. Oh, I'd love to have a 10R80 Mustang. Said nobody unless they're 20 and they came out in 2018. Most of the people that love the 10R80 and say, La Luz, 10R80 La Luz, 10R80 is the shit, 10R80 King, Chris 10R80, 10R80 Mike, they're 22 years old. Because when they were 16, 17, 18, that was the vehicle they saw running around and they were able to finance it after working at Home Depot and living with mom and dad. But us that are a little older, we lust after older vehicles. So what do I want Ford to do? Ford, who do you think has the money right now? You think Gen Alpha has money? That generation is cooked. There's like half of Generation Alpha than there are millennials. Millennials just didn't have kids and neither did Gen Xers. They just didn't have kids. So the population collapse is coming. So you're going to see Gen Xers have most of the money because boomers are dying. They're taking too long to die, but they're dying. Okay? They have the most money. The next person or people, or group of people that have money are Gen Xers, myself. Those people should be catered to. And you don't think if you brought out if you bring out a supercharged factory stick shift GT500 or Boss or whatever or turbo, I might buy it. How can you win me back? By giving me something I want. A factory, supercharged or turbocharged, stick shift, something. All these kids get their Home Depot, McDonald's, and Costco paycheck and go straight to a Gen 4. Alec, do you like the 08 as a roller caged? No. I don't like the 07 to 2009 cars at all. I want a Bucephalus. Benjamin Keller says, Grandpa had a 69 Roadrunner, never saw it run, never heard it crank. But seeing it in the shed made me get into cars, especially seeing how it made him smile when talking about it before it blew up. A man's first love is a car. A man's first love and longest lasting love is a car. And women don't want to hear that. But understand this. You will never be as important to him as the car. Some of the best things I see is when a man raises a kid and the kid understands what dad sacrificed to raise them. The Camaro blew up and it just sat in the shed. And you're like, and then maybe it got sold when you were like 10 to be able to afford something, or dad just lost interest. I'm too old to fuck with it, or I don't have the time to fuck with it. So when a son, specifically a son, knows exactly what his father did to sacrifice for him, buys dad a vehicle. I wanted to buy my father a 64 Impala SS, but he passed away. But, if dad was in better health, I would have done it probably in the next couple of years because I can. But he passed away, so I won't be able to do that for him. But when I see sons go out there and buy dad's dream car, dad cries. Dad cries. You don't see men cry when they see like an old girlfriend. They're like, hey, bitch. Whore. You stupid whore. Yeah. But then when you see like your old GTO, oh shit. Oh. Your first memories, the most impressionable times in your life were in the vehicle you had as a teenager. That is what matters the most. That's what men want. If you build something that caters to that thought process and you somehow trigger that thought, that feeling, that memory, men will try to recreate that if they have money in their pocket after they've raised their kids and all that shit. That's why seniors racing now. Seniors racing now. But, Senior's also working really hard right now. He's like busting his ass in the garage. But he's like, I'm done. I'm done. My kids are raised. I'm going to go flying. I'm going to build a 6-second car. Or both. And he's doing both. Times 2. Brian, If you want to buy that transmission, we're good. I'm not. You don't see me sponsor them. You don't see me support. You don't see me do anything. If you want to buy it, vaya con Dios. But as a channel, as a support, no. But if you want to buy it, vaya con Dios. But I don't support that business any longer. My 66 Ford Galaxy with a Gen 1 Boss. Here we go. He's going to tell me his whole fucking resume. A little off topic, but did you see that there's more unemployed than job openings? What? Normal Mustang, though, Torino or something needs to be popped back up. Lighter, solid rear, and it's never going to happen. John Lucas. Just saying that the Whipple F-150 thing you were talking about likely has less shitty convoluted wiring running into the fuse box with add a fuse to trigger the Whipple intercooler pump. What the hell are you saying? Just saying. The Whipple F-150 thing you were talking about likely has shitty convoluted wiring running into the fuse box with an add a fuse to trigger the intercooler pump. What was I talking about that made you say that? I don't know. If I ever get into good enough money, I'd buy another Roadrunner just to see him crack a smile and go for a ride. Oh man, if my dad was alive, I know exactly the car he wanted. Let me see if I can find it. No, I know my dad. He wanted weird shit. Damn, Dad wanted this. Remember, my dad would have been 52 to 70, 74 right now. 74, 74. I'm trying to find something my dad would have. Oh, damn, Dad would have liked this. You don't call me crazy, but Dad would have loved that. Yep. Not a lowrider. Factory. My dad would have been over the moon with a green Impala from 1964. SS. Right there. There it is. My dad would have lost his shit. He would have cried. He would have gone down on one knee. And he would have been like, I'm not deserving. Chucho, I'm not deserving. Chucho, this costs you too much money, Chucho. Papi, I got it. We're good. We made it. All the shit you sacrificed, I got you, Papa. You know what? I won't get that opportunity. But I know the guy. I know how he felt. I know how he thought about certain things. And I know what he sacrificed to raise us. As a 350R owner, I find myself looking at Boss 302s and fawning over them. I'd like to pick one up someday. SBY 13. My dad had a school bus yellow? Well, you got terrible taste. 70 Grabber Orange Boss. When I look at a silver and red Laguna Seca, shivers down my spine. I go, oh! Because the S197 still looks old. Because it has the classic lines of Mustang. But the weirdness of the red and silver Laguna Seca, stop it. Badass. The only, John, the only F-150 that leaves the factory supercharged is a Raptor R. Correct. My dad wanted a Boss 429, 70. Damn, what happened with Calammer? Nothing happened with Calammer. Just, friendships aren't forever. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to move on with life if people are moving away that you don't like, and that's it. And if you want to buy the transmissions, cool, but I am not going to shout them out on the channel. I'm good. If it was a supercharged F-50 for the factory, the fuse and relay would be integrated into the fuse box. Oh, totally understand what you're saying. I don't know what that he's talking about. He's talking about radios and aftermarket shit. Your dad is gangster, 64 Impala. My dad was gangster. I was going to say, damn, Dad would have been hitting switches to make that bitch riding through wheels. He did not like the lowriders. He hated lowriders. But my dad wanted to drive. Again, my dad was raised in Puerto Rico. So if he saw a 64 Impala and he was born in 52, he would have been 10 or 12 years old. Perfect. That's the car that makes you go, whoa. I still look at old Chevys that he used to like, and I'm like, man, one day I'd love to have like a whole Chevy garage and a whole Ford garage. None of the cars in the Chevy garage would be a Camaro. Not one motherfucker. Like, how many Camaros would be in my theoretical Chevy garage?
Not one motherfucker.
Fuck that car. Camaros are for gay guys. Don't forget the blue and white. The blue and white. What are you talking about? Commander says, I bought my son's first car recently. 05 Lexus L. Oh man, he's gonna be at sideshows. LS 430 UL. As soon as my dad drove it, he's 71. He fell in love. It's Calammer's driver. Who is the goof? The problem started. I'll talk about it. So we were tuning his blue car, and his blue car was being driven by a guy that literally doesn't know how to drive. He'll say, I built a 7-cent car. Cool. A face-plated car on Holly with a slipper clutch is not the same thing as a Gen 2 car with a stock computer, stock style transmission, hydraulic clutch, blah, blah, blah. So I told him how to drive it. Guy wouldn't listen. So what did they do? They got it tuned elsewhere. It never ran. You know what happened after they got it tuned elsewhere? It got sold. That's what happens when you don't listen to us. If you don't listen to us and take our advice, you're simply not going to get our support going forward. So if you went ahead and they got it tuned by a shop that was caught red-handed stealing a Lund tune. Red-handed. Like, admitted to it, was on email sucking dick, telling us, please don't dump us. Caught red-handed. So I'm like, there goes that. Yeah, exactly. Alex, I had sent you a race red 2012 Boss with. You sent me a Boss with Precision 13. Think about that, Johnny boy. Think about that. You sent me a Boss 302 that had turbos and a T56. How's that a bucket list car for me? That car is an abortion. Why would I want a Hellion twin turbo T56 Boss? What? Why don't I just get pregnant and rattle that motherfucker out of me? Because I don't want those problems. It's just full of fucking problems. So I abort that motherfucker.
I'm BDF, nigga, baby daddy free. That mean I ain't got a nigga, baby coming out of me. So I'm ABORTING. On my way to the clinic, I forgot the plan B. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind.
I gotta get to the first verse. It's so good. The drop is nice.
Bitch, I got murder on my mind. I forgot the plan B. Ain't no nigga cuffing me. You can't put me on the shelf, bitch. I'm outside with the team. All these bitches having babies,
but they infinite be me.
Said he wanna settle down. Niggas selling all these dreams.
Alex, I sent you a 2012 Boss 302 with a Hellion twin turbo, Precision 6466s, and a T56. Isn't that a bucket list car for you? Fuck no. Why the fuck would I want to get an aborted baby and be like, let me raise this motherfucker? Let me just put your arm back here. Let me put your face here, your eye. Fuck all that. Yeah, it's some. Look, my loyalty is above everything. And the moment you're disloyal, I can dump you as a friend. Easy. Shit. Ain't no skin off my back. Shit. Yeah, it got sold. It got sold, bro. Why? They probably tuned it, went back to the track, didn't run any better. Ooh! Oh! Unreal. Makes sense. That Lund tune dual turbo Gen 2 boat is wild. It's a boat. Fox body GNs and W6s were the shit when I was in high school. Sucking tunes. Did I miss so-called shop running GT500 to walls? Jeez. Staying with the Wishblower brand. Was considering one until they decided not to support Lund and talk bad on Valley. Fuck out of here too. Pro Charger copy wannabe ass. Fuck out of here. Alex, in the club, going crazy. I wonder what it would be to go on a date with a girl who sings this song to an Applebee's. The 10-mile Boss Laguna Seca is a bucket list car. I swear I heard it on a live before. Wait, you heard that I wanted a twin-turbo Boss 302 with a T56? I sent you a 7-cent car that used to be a Boss, Alex. Oh, fuck. Someone else's nightmare. Right, someone else's nightmare. Hey, here you go. What's this? I just vacuumed this baby out of me. You want to raise it? That's pretty fucked up. Why don't I get it back in its original form? Yeah, but like, it's close to what you wanted. No. How do you get tuned elsewhere when you can have a tuner like this? I don't know. This is why. When you have reached, okay, let's say you think you're a badass. Let's say you think you're a badass driver. Let's say you think you know more than everyone else because you went fast once with a complete... Imagine having a Fox body on Holly, basically, and it goes fast, and then you're like, yeah, I'm a badass. Do you know how many dumb motherfuckers I've seen in my life that have fast cars? Oh, bro. The chassis shop built the chassis. The motor shop built the motor. The tranny shop built the tranny. And you with a slipper clutch, Holly, traction control, this, that, ass tits, that, 790. Oh my God, you know so much about cars now. Let me open a shop. Then someone gives you a car. Hey, since you went 7s, why don't you make this go 8? No problem. It's got to be in the tune. Hey, tuner, fix this. You stalled it. Launching. Yeah, but like my Holly slipper clutch, Ford 9-inch floater diff ass titty car doesn't do that. Oh, so a car that's configured for racing doesn't run like a car with a factory computer? Okay. You know you guys take your cars to people that open shops that don't know shit about cars? We don't want to have that conversation. Whew, Pikachu face. What's that smell? If Alex wanted a Turbo Boss, he would have bought it from his coworker. Right. That's what Turbo Boss car is probably Bama tuned too. Similar shop with a few months of a rap customer comes with the territory working with people. Sadly, bro, didn't you think homie had a 6-second car? Ain't a fetus that can't beat us. All this beeping on this chair is messing me up. Sorry, guys. 15 GT with the PMAS 18 intake Lund tune at 3,000 RPM. I swear it feels like turbos kick in. Okay, you're wild. Theo already has a Coyote GT500 and still less 197. If you swap the blower for turbos, it'd be the same car. Fast cars, one thing. Being able to drive it is different. Anything he made, and Alex aborting that precision turbo boss like a Canelo. Hey, get the fuck out of here, or I'm gonna fuck you out right now. A strain gauge says a lot about motherfuckers. Every single time I hear someone about, oh, this guy's a driver mod. Whoop, boop, boop, boop. You mean when you pull the handle, it automatically cuts spark, and you don't have to push in the clutch? You, sir, have an automatic. Alex, I can't wait for the day you spill all the beans about this industry. There's no benefit, and this is why. The reason that there's no benefit to talk shit on the industry is because you're never believed until it happens to you. So, let's say, for example, I know, guys, you know what I do for work every day? I see. There are shops that I wouldn't bring my cars to. There are shops that I would absolutely bring my cars to. And I'm just like, okay. And I see hundreds, if not thousands, of examples of how shit can go wrong. So, when I speak on something, it's based on experience because it happened. So what happens? Someone like you guys that have never had a bad experience with a shop or something, you're going to be like, he's just full of shit, right? And then one day you take it to said shop and shit goes downhill and goes, oh man, I remember Alex talking about this shit. Fuck, he's right. Why do you think I build, quote unquote, build my own motors? Why do you think I put my own cars together? What do you think I'm like learning these little skills here and there that I would rather do? I change my own tires. I literally have 2 long bars and I change my own tires. I have been screwed in every way, shape, or form. Like, what I really want is a shop just to do my own shit. That's all I want. Like, I'm getting to the point because the house search is silly. In order to get a house that has a big, badass shop, it's $700,000 and up. Or I could rent or buy a building. Buying the building is probably the best way. The problem is commercial loans are weird. Yeah, we'll see. There's so many ratty turbo coyotes for sale. A lot of them look not super clean, just like not put together well. Alex, how do I delete my muffler? He sent you an on-3 Boss T56 car. Wait, did you send me an on-3 kit car with precision turbos and you thought that was my bucket list car? I'm gonna go look at my email right now, motherfucker. How dare you? Did you send me an on-3 kit? Boy, I'm gonna look right now. Let me see. Boss. I'm going to just type in boss on the email. See. Boss splash guard. Last year, Donnie, you gloss having a boss. So here's a 4,000 mile boss Laguna Seca roller for 50. Yeah, this guy for $5,900. I don't even know if this card's available anymore. This guy offered me a boss roller Laguna Seca, but it's a roller. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Boss 302. Let me see. Tim. What did you send this? April 15th? Let me see if it's a piece of shit. It's on Facebook Marketplace. No, it's gone. Just send me the thing again. See if it's there. Let me see what Junior say. Okay. Anyway. If he showed me an on-3 twin turbo car with precisions, bro, stop. Theo, avoid having a shitty car build. Build it yourself, and if it goes wrong, only yourself to blame. Absolutely. But Johnny boy, this is old news. I just don't talk about it because there's no breaking up. There's just support or no support, and that's it. That's racing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that situation. Woo! If I could talk about that situation. Woo! Talk about that another time. Enjoyed your Engage video discussion recently. Thank you, Brian. Metalhead. Thank you for becoming a Beach Out level member. Appreciate you. I laugh every time you dance on live. It's hilarious. 1.5 million in my area for a bottom of the barrel home. Exactly. He said it on IG. On IG? Thank you. Fuck, how do I look it up? What's his name? Fuck! Dude, if he sent me a Boss 302 with an on-3 kit that somebody shoved precision turbos in it, you are psychotic. Let me see. There's D-Rock Shelby. There's Jake. Don Peeps. No. Javier Garza. Oh, that's that badass Hellcat swapped situation. Chris Fargo, Second Shift Racing. I got like 50 messages today, so I'm not gonna find you. I'm not. Noah Williams. Who's Noah Williams? No. Anyway, an on-3 kit car with precision. TO support for Alex. TO support? What's TO support? 2 support. I'm so stupid. 2 support, TO Alex. Thank you, Rooster. I appreciate you. I know you're out there driving the truck. Bro, better super chat 3 times. What header exhaust combo would you recommend for racing and performance? Not so much for sound. Ultimate header, inch and 7/8 headers. MagnaFlow Street Series catback. Your opinion. What clutch flywheel combo recommendation for Gen 2 Coyote with the MT82? At this point, I'm recommending the not aluminum flywheel RXT. Probably the regular steel RXT, non-aluminum. You want a little inertia to work in your favor. Alex, check your dream Laguna Seca in the peasant chat. I know that motherfucker at least has 6 boost exhaust leaks. Bro's about to get cooked. I'm trying to find it. Poor Phil Fez is a victim of bad shops. He's down bad. Tortas and all. Yeah, he's out there at least getting his dick up by fat Mexican chicks. Good for him. Oh, bro, that update, Slow 99. If you wanna hit me up on Patreon, I'll tell you everything. And they ain't got Yo, I could have done something diabolical. I'll talk with you about it because I trust you. I'm about to start learning to tint windows so I don't have to rely on anyone for that. I'm over everyone. Precision Hellion. Brett, no. Can you drop a Gen 3 illuminator and a Gen 1 and would benefit for the compression bump? Gen 3 bottom end, but again, it's a conjunction thing, right? The compression comes from a conjunction or a, mix of the head, halo, and the bottom end. So if you put like a Gen 2 head on it or a Gen 1 head on it, it'll change the compression. But let's just say you use a Gen 3 illuminator with a Gen 2 head and a Gen 1 cam timing, I think it'll be good. Boss 302 roller illuminator boost, vaya con Dios. Yeah, there's a guy that had a Boss 302 roller here. Oh, he hit me up immediately. And it was for $5,900, but it was a Laguna Seca, but it was a roller. Long tubes with GT500 mufflers are goated. Yes. How about the new ZR1? What about it? No, it's not about him specifically. It's about a situation. Found you a house, Alex. 14. Okay, let's look at this house. Copy. This guy said he found me a house. So let's look at it. Street view. Okay. Okay. Let me turn here. Come on. He said he found me a house. Let's go look at it live together. Uh-huh. 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 Come on. It's on the left here. There's nothing here, bro. The fuck are you talking about? There's nothing here. And nothing there, bro. Nothing there. Let's go here. Let's go. Oh, nope. Nope. Dirt. Fuck that. Never, never, never will I buy a house with dirt. What is this motherfucker here? This the house. Oh, here it is. Let's go see inside. Yeah, it's alright. It's got a garage, tent, a Tesla Model 3, but I bet you they want $1 bazillion. Let me see. Copy. Zillow. Oh, Jesus Christ. Zillow. Yeah, the houses are here are no joke. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Here's the house. $785,000. 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,500 square feet. Not. Oh my God. Yeah, beautiful, right? Great, awesome. Yeah, all the shit I don't need. I don't need a whole man cave out there. Hell, I mean, yeah, but $700,000. This is just a man cave. Dude, I'd live there. I wouldn't even live in the main house. Wait, is this the main house? Or it's got a pool? Yeah, this is big money, bro. In Palm Beach County? Bro, hell yeah. But it's got a Z06, looks like, or a Grand Sport. He's got a drag car of some sorts. And then some kind of other car. Yeah, I don't know. I might know this person. I'm trying to see if I know. Oh, yeah, look at that house. Fuck me. Mosquito heaven and dirt. You need a driveway right here, bro. This house needs a driveway right here so that you can go out to the main street without getting the car fucking dirty. But yeah, that's the kind of houses here for $700,000. That's like $5,000 a month mortgage. Yeah, exactly. No, the dirt roads are here very popular, believe it or not. It's an equestrian community, so it's very popular to have dirt roads here. Conjunction Junction. We need a Patreon live. What only slow 99? No, me and slow 99. He is gain. I'm not gonna say you don't gain my trust, but this one can get spicy. This one can get spicy, and I don't like talking about it, but boy, it just fell on my lap, and then I subsequently was like, I'm better off not doing this. You ever think about how the Coyote killed Ford's performance Mustang line up? It's too good and no room to grow. 2-valve Cobra had the gap in ability. Coyote to GT500, there's no real gap. What are you talking about? There's a real... Well, I know what you mean. So basically, if you have a Coyote Mustang 10R80 and you supercharge it, you will be faster than the GT500. Whereas when you had the 2-valve, you had to buy the Cobra or Mach 1 to be better. I get that. But I don't know if that's a good or bad way of looking at things. I just think that the people can make a GT500 faster, cheaper, but the barrier to entry is higher because the GT500 is ridiculously expensive. Like, what was the price difference between a Cobra and a 2-valve back in the day? Right? I don't know. But was it worth it to go... Like, I don't know if a lot of people went 2-valve then Cobra, to be honest with you. Like, did a lot of people go 2-valve then Cobra? I'm going to get into a new... Oh, how come this is not working? Copy. Live chat. And then paste. And hit OK. Oh, I didn't hit OK. There it is. Antonio says, I'm looking to get a new Mustang and I want a dark horse. Worth it or just get a fully loaded GT? I don't know what you want to do. I don't think the dark horse is any much better or worse than a regular GT. Sewer Lagoon in the backyard. Yeah, that's normal over there too, unfortunately. You could get that same house for $300,000 in Oklahoma, but you're in Oklahoma. At this point, I'd rather go to Oklahoma. Fuck it. Because if I get into a house here, I could probably swing a 650 house. And then to get a garage that I need, it's going to be $200. And 2 years to build. So I'd rather just stay here and get a shop. Like if I can buy a small building somewhere, like attached to a big thing, but you buy it, I think it'd be good. 785, goddamn. The fact that y'all can buy that much land and home for just $700,000 is crazy. That's $3 million home here. Gonna have to wash your car every 2 days. Yes, Jake lives in a dirt road. and I have his F-150 here. And it was so dirty. And I've had it here for almost a week. And no dirt. Thing is mint. How do I feel like that's an ops house and we're doxing life? Probably. At this point, I don't care. But imagine the quality. It's for sale on Zillow, so I get it. But imagine the quality of beige you can get when you're in the pool. No, you boat. So if you want to get a blowjob here, you get a boat. Bitches come down from all over the United States on girls trips, and they always say, if you have a boat, hit us up. And then you go to the Miami River, and you cruise the Miami River, and then you go down to the hole, and you get your beach down there. Or anal. Chips and stick the road. That's it. Buy real estate out of my state. Fuck this. Exactly. 700,000 ain't bad if the interest rate were the same for 2017. Free flow next and Magnaflow Street Series. It sounds amazing. Loxahatchee was affordable growing up. Not anymore. 2 valves were in the 20s. Terminators were in the mid 30s. Okay, that's about right. Now, a GT is 55 and a GT500 is 100. Stupid. Who texted me? I want to see who texted me. Who has the nerve to text me? Oh, no, that was something else. Okay. The house is $20,000 in the 956. People almost never went 2-valve, then Cobra, unless they really love the body style. More likely, they went Cobra first. I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of people went 2-valve, then to an LS1 Camaro. Because that's what they got beat by. $10,000 price difference in 2-valve and 04 Cobra. Wow. What's up? Finally caught alive and watching while driving home from work. Theo, Oklahoma's not bad. There are no beaches there. God damn it. Please visit Palm Beach County one day. Stop it. Did you hear that that whole Street Outlaws thing ended? So, like, you're going to see a lot of Oklahomans that were making fun of YouTubers all of a sudden show up on YouTube. So it'll be interesting to see what these Street Outlaw guys do now that their honeypot is done. Like, their main breadwinner, Street Outlaws, is over. So I'm curious to see if the Street Outlaws actually remain in racing, or they just disappear and go back to their regular jobs. She's on a yacht. She got. BJ equals boat job. For $750, we only get a 2-bedroom and 1 bathroom in California. Sebastian Delgado, I love how you spelled yacht. Sebastian Delgado. If she's on a yacht, he tried. Doesn't the whole thing turn red when you type it wrong? That house got a shitter outside. Looks like it does have 2 shitters outside. 5-bedroom with a pool, 5-car driveway in a villa park. $2 million. Calling me out. Catfish Camaro is a soft spot of mine. Right. 2-valve owners bought a Catfish Camaro because that's the car they got beat by. Terminator owners just got a Kenny Bell. Then they got 190 IATs. Then, what did Cobra guys graduate to? What did 03, 04 Cobra guys graduate to? Go on the chat. You know what it is. Tell me, 2-valve guys graduated to the LS1 Catfish. What did 03, 04 Cobra guys graduate to? Vehicle. Go. You and I both know what they graduated to. I was there. I saw it all happen live and in front of my face. They used to be Cobra Mike, Snake this. Exactly. The Z6 Z06 was what they graduated to. Thank you. Exactly. Every Terminator homo went from the Cobra to the Z06. Every single one. The Z06 or the ZR1. Usually the Z06 is what they graduated to. Okay, guys, today we talked about why Ford Racing changed their logo from Ford Racing to Ford Performance back to Ford Racing while maintaining management, employees, and infrastructure exactly the same. Just attention. But I think they're going to concentrate more on the racing side of things as opposed to the road going side of things. And they're not going to be concentrating on the road going side of things unless they get someone in there that has an engineering mindset and is a leader that people listen to. And Jim Farley. Jim Farley, you're not that guy. No offense. You're a nice guy. You've made multi-millions of dollars. You've run this company into the ground. It's time for you to go. New logo, new ownership, new blood to actually get people motivated to pump out better and better products. But right now, Ford is struggling, in my opinion, and unless they get rid of leadership, they're going to keep struggling for a long time. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday morning for Peasant Chat. We'll talk then, hang out a little bit, and we'll see what the deal is. I'll talk to Slow 99 and give him the skinny on what's going on with that whole situation. It's going to be a good time. You can allude to it, but don't put it out there. I'm trusting you. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye.